Okay, back to clubland. The round that we've just witnessed, I think probably it's all about defensive integrity. You see we're 2/3 of the way through the year, you've got the finals in sight, and the best teams are starting to get their defensive heads on. Yep. That game, Thursday night, Penrith versus Dogs, it's just evidence you don't need high-scoring games to have exciting contests. It was fantastic. Some of the desperation.
You can change any rule to speed up the play of the ball or make more attacking opportunities. But when you've got two teams redlining defensively and the intensity which they played with, cracking contests, like ball on the deck, it was me versus you, who's going to get it first. Some of the efforts, like...
the Connor Tracy one.
Oh,
we'll
have
a look at a couple of them here. Like, honestly, the effort and the desperation, he's scoring for all money of their plays. And just fantastic effort. And that was the tail of the tape the whole night. You had quality attack against just remarkable defence.
It's almost like defence in NFL. You know how there's yardage in NFL, and if you make that yardage, it gets to go again.
Yep.
Connor Tracy knew the goal line was right there as he was tracking across, and if you didn't hit him with everything, then the momentum probably comes over. Right.
That's right.
So every inch counts.
Here come the Panthers. First half of the season, mentally flat. Can understand. They're looking to win 5 competitions in a row. Yeah. You're waiting for the tap to be turned on while it's turned on, and you see. You can measure focus, desire through defence, and it's obvious. They win 8-6. They're back. Raiders,
Dogs, Storm getting a lot of raps for what they're doing, and rightly so. But this team was anchored at the bottom of the ladder. What was it? Won one of their first 5 or 6 or something like that. And they've turned it around and taken on the Dogs, who have been at the top of the ladder for the majority of the season. The signs of how they played that game was Penrith of old.
Yeah.
Good completion rate, great defence, kicking game, and when there was a moment to be won, they won it. The problem with, and we've said this before, the problem with Penrith had their gun players chewed up everything they got to get their team back to where they are. I think it's delicate how Ivan Cleary handles their origin players at the back end of the year, but they need to be rested and they need to be fine because it doesn't matter where they finish for me. They could finish 5 to 8. They would be dangerous to play.
Producer Scott just said to me here, 5 weeks ago they'll last.
There you go.
So this is the thing with the competition at the moment. You have a good month of football, you race up the ladder.
A lot of teams could put 3 or 4 wins together, but the way that Penrith have put 3 or 4 teams wins together, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
They can beat those top 4 teams.
And Coops, we're going to talk about Casey McLean in a second, but this is the other thing about the Panthers. Suddenly, Blaze is starting to look like a Penrith player. Suddenly, McLean is, suddenly he's had. You just seen in the last few weeks, he's come of age as a player. That was the game the other night. We'll talk about it.
I will say that. I've been in that situation where you're struggling for your best footy. You know you should be better than what you are. Get through an Origin series and you're still grinding away to work hard. They need to be careful that they don't burn the fuel tank empty because you get to finals and you think, I've got to go again here because every other team lifts a level. So they get there. They are dangerous. But there's a delicate thing in terms of Ivan, how he handles those 5 Origin players around. Can they play past week 2?
Now, individual performances, Casey McLean, every player of note, young player, has a game that I think is a coming-of-age game, and I thought his was the other night, up against Stephen Crichton, who's one of the best defensive centres of all time, and in brilliant form. Would have probably been one of Casey's heroes, I'd imagine, although not a long way apart in age.
He'd been coming through the system, idolising what Stephen Crichton did.
And at full time the other night, you see Nathan go up and he just grabs Casey McLean, and that's a slight, mate, you've come of age here.
So the first run-in that Stephen Crichton and McLean had was a short kick and he knocked it out, and they had a little bit of a tussle.
Yeah.
And then when the game was on the line and they won it, Nathan flew up to him and gave him a big, huge rap. I reckon that was set up in the coach's video review in the preview for that performance because Stephen Crichton is the captain of the Dogs. He is a physical presence and a beast. Young McLean, 19 years of age, I think that was his 20th game. He had the job of stopping the most influential player for the Dogs.
Yep.
And he went after him.
Yeah,
he didn't sit back and say, yes, Mr. Crichton. Yes, Mr. Crichton. He just went straight for the jugular. And fought him for 80 minutes. He stopped it in the first minute, and ultimately when it was the last minute, he was there to play a part. And jot that down, coming of age of the young man, that is a hell of a performance.
It's a little bit like Ivan would have said to him.
Yeah, dangle the carrot in front of him.
Yeah, that's right. And treat him with respect, but not too much respect.
Yeah.
Get out there
we've
and
all
go
had
for
that where the coach dangles something in front, says, listen, I need you to do a job on someone today. And that was McLean's job, and he did it.
I'll tell you what, he early in the game, he got the ball. He put a bit of footwork on Critter here. If it's anyone but Stephen Crichton, he scores here. Like Crichton is scrambling to get him. That's clear evidence of quality of this young bloke's footwork, and he's like that. He scores on anyone.
Right. He is a threat to go on the outside twice, back on the inside once, and then goes the outside again. And to your point, Stephen Crichton is the best centre in the world on both sides of the footy, and anyone but him, he probably sets up a try or scores one.